The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Thanks so much for kicking your trading day off right here with me in the morning market kickoff. And we start things off slightly in the red. Tesla out with their numbers last night, slightly in the red by about 3.5% this morning. We'll jump over to Tesla in a moment. But right now we have S&Ps just off the lows, made in the last 20 minutes, but negative by 3 points. Less than 0.1% in the red at 67.33. NASDAQ 100, we're off by 0.2%. Trading off 45 points, just under 25,000. The Dow off 73 points right now, or 0.2% in the red, 46,709. The Russell in the positive this morning. We take a look at the volumes. On an S&P, that was some selling yesterday. We had a bounce going back to where we were last Friday with some volume. You trade higher. Excuse me. Yes, Friday. Monday, you get quite the pop. And we got some selling yesterday in the markets. NASDAQ 100, pretty similar action. Yesterday, you trade lower on 684,000 contracts. And boy, on Monday, that was, very light volume as you trade into those highs. We're giving it up a bit, and we're negative again this morning. You jump over to the VIX. With an elevated VIX, you hit a high yesterday of 21.01 to be exact. And we're up by 44 pennies right now at 1904. We jump to yields. A little bit of lower price, higher yield this morning. Oops. The 10-year off by 7 ticks. We take a look at the daily, just bumping up to where we were. September 11th. The highs of September 17th. And the 10-year just under 4% for the yield. You jump over the dollar. Holding up relatively well. We got yields just under 4%. We got dollar at 99. And the volatility continues, this time to the upside. Gold catching a bid from yesterday's lows. We're up by $85, up by more than 2%. You're right where we were overnight. Gold, about $2 a.m. Eastern time, we make a high of just above where we're at right now. 41.52, and we just hit 41.52.60. Within 30 pennies of that high. Take a look at the daily. That didn't quite even make it back to that 382 pullback. Gold, $130 off the lows of the session yesterday. You jump over to silver right now. Catching a bit as well. Silver up by 2.7%. We check in on platinum. Look at the run platinum's having. Platinum, just particularly volatile. Platinum right now up by 4%, up $62. And platinum up from $14.80 to $16.14 on that run. And you jump over to Bitcoin, been under pressure, you're up by 1%. So yes, a little bit of a bid, but Bitcoin underperforming metals right now, underperforming the market as well. All right, tomorrow we get CPI numbers. In 6 days, we get a Fed. Last night we get Tesla numbers. So Tesla, you're going to be down about $13, $14. What is that? Yeah, $15, $16 to the downside. Now, Tesla had about a $25 move. I think let's jump over to the Analyze tab. We take a look. About a $28 move in either direction. So not even close to the expected move. We'll see what happens on the open. But Tesla shares underwhelming. And Elon talking about his own pay package. I mean, the Tesla earnings call is not like most earnings calls. And on the end of it, okay, he jumps in. There needs to be enough voting control to give a strong influence, but not so much that I can't be fired or go insane. I think he has so much influence already. The more voting power, the more sticking power. It's $1 trillion pay package, voting power or not. And I try and imagine any other CEO making this case. I mean, imagine Bezos jumping on the earnings call and saying that he's coming back as CEO, but he needs $1 trillion pay package to do so. It's a remarkable pay package for a man that has the more wealth than anybody on the planet, and he needs that pay package as an employee. And it goes one step further, because if you made the case that he had to get that pay package to not be distracted with other endeavors, that's one thing. At the same time, okay, you have another vote going on to allow Tesla to use their money to put investments into Elon's private companies. The two of them going together to pay him to be CEO $1 trillion, while you're going to have him using Tesla money to drive his private businesses that you have no piece of. The risks are inherent in that, folks, to put it lightly. All right. Oil. So, are we going to get more pressure on Russia with sanctions? Well, the crude market is reacting. You jump over to crude this morning. How about that acceleration from $55 and change on Monday to a 62 handle this morning? We take a look at the daily on crude. And yeah, we got some volume trading higher. Today's volume already 410,000 contracts. All day yesterday, 356. Jump over to ExxonMobil, up by $2.30 to 117. Chevron up a few dollars on that run. Jump around to some of the tech stocks, NVIDIA shares. Quite the volatile day yesterday. You can open slightly in the red. We take a look at the volume on NVIDIA. You know, we have the market sitting right near all-time highs. You have an S&P less within 100 points of that all-time high mark. You have the NASDAQ 100, 1.5% from that mark. And meanwhile, we got NVIDIA. Makes that run to 195, but we are right in this consolidation area you've been in since about August 1st. But volume on the selling on this pullback. Look at that volume off the top. Continued volume to the downside. And yesterday, volume spiking to 162 million shares. You jump over to Netflix. So Netflix disappoints 2 days ago after the bell. You trade lower almost the whole session. You make a low of 11.12 last night. You're trading right now up a few dollars at 11.19 for Netflix. We jump over to the banks. JP Morgan. Basically flat right now. Check around some of the others. Microsoft shares up by $1. You got Google shares up by $1 as well. Quantum computing in vogue yesterday, and yeah, it's in vogue today as well. As you're looking at potentially more stakes in private companies, and so the quantum computing stocks are rocking. You gotta love it. We live in the world now where at any time, an industry can be vogue, and the government can say, I want a piece of it, and the prices of that specific equity are going to rise as the government takes private ownership stakes in these private companies. All right. Look at gold. Continuing to trade higher just in the last half hour. We just traded from 41.15 to 41.50. We're right up at these highs we had at 2 in the morning. S&P's negative by 6, and you got Tesla facing some pressure on the open. Tesla down about $14. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be coming back for the hour. Don't go away. We'll be right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Markets marginally in the red right now, and yes, we jumped to the quantum stocks. So these things have been a roller coaster already. Surge on a report that Trump's eyeing a stake in the group like Intel. Rare earth companies just like it. We're going to take a stake. Are we going to dilute it? Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll jump around to some of them. This is QBTS, yeah. And QUBT, IONQ, RGTI. All of these companies spiking in the overnight session. QBTS and QU. Yeah. So check this out. Look at this roller coaster. Now, this thing's trading at 32 right now in the pre-market. Okay. We were just trading at 46 8 days ago. And we were just trading at $6 in April. Are we going to take the stake now that it just traded up to $46? Or are we just going to get 10% diluted? $11 billion company. Okay. This is D-Wave, QBTS, QUBT, Quantum Computing, a $3.7 billion company. We're trading right now at about $16.50. We were just trading at $25. You spiked all the way up to $27. Back in December, IONQ, we're trading at $60 right now. You were just trading at $85. Be very careful in these equities, man. Short term, yeah. Volatility can be a trader's best friend. Okay, and you better believe there's some volatility in these equities, but you better believe that there's a real chance for a dramatic pullback as well. I mean, the advancements that Google had in their quantum computing, we were talking about it yesterday, replicatable, okay. The number 5 years was thrown around there. 5 years. Nonetheless, you're the Wall Street Journal talking about that Trump is in talks to take several quantum computing firms about giving the Commerce Department equity stakes in exchange for federal funding. All right, and this one, boy, we're jumping around. I was going to get to this eventually. The group chat, the boys group chat's already talking about this one, folks. And oh, man. So, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, arrested in gambling pros. Now, Terry Rozier is currently making, I think, $26 million right now as a current player for the Heat. Okay. Billups, 17 years in the NBA. Now, I saw something about Billups running a poker game. Rozier, he's been talked about for months about basically tanking his games. There's one in 2023. It's going to be a big one, folks. Rozier's made like $165 million in just contract earnings while playing, let alone sponsorships and what may come. And Chauncey Billups, he made like $100 million as a player alone over his 17 years. But yeah, they're in handcuffs, man. Whew. They're arrested in Florida and the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn, New York, and the FBI director. So you're going to get some Cash Patel talk on this one. And boy, you're going to hear about it because, you know, some of the numbers in terms of what was thrown around, in terms of what was gambled, not a lot of money compared to what you're talking about. And the details are going to come out on this one, folks. I mean, there was $13,000. Was this the article I was reading about this morning? One was talked about in 13. Yeah, here it is. This is amazing. And folks, you know, no one's immune from making these kinds of mistakes. And when I read something like this, all I try and do is think about, okay, you know, within us all, somehow there's this power that like greed takes over occasionally. And you see something like this and you say, man, I hope that I can learn from other people's mistakes, because it seems like, okay, that Rozier had some pretty suspect action, and in particular on a 2023 game. Okay, sportsbooks in multiple states flagged suspicious betting on just his statistics. Now you got over-unders in games, very prevalent, prop bets. Okay, they had an unexpected surge of bets. 30 wagers in 45 minutes from a professional bettor, totaling almost $14,000, came in on the under. Points, rebounds, and assists. They halt the betting, and then what happens? He plays 10 minutes and says his foot hurts and he has to leave. There's been other images of just how it may have, you know, some of the videos. He's in the final season of a $96 million contract for 4 years. It's tantalizing, folks, and I don't know what's going on, but, you know, it's unfortunate, to put it lightly, and they're going to come down hard. And you have the FBI director at your press conference. Probably not a good morning. And, you know, hey, how do you disincentivize something like that? Because you have to. They're fixing basketball games. Now, I don't know what's going on with Chauncey Billups. We'll find out. But Terry Rozier, we're going to find out. But what do they say? There's no such thing as coincidences, man. Greed. It seems like always greed, right? We see it in Wall Street all the time. People who are worth God knows how much money, okay, getting accused of breaking laws for whatever reason. And this is going to be quite a story, man. As you got 2 or 3 high profile getting arrested. They're in handcuffs. They're fixing games. And I don't know what's going on with Mr. Billups. We'll find out. But that one just breaking this morning. Greed. Ever prevalent, folks. And there's nothing more than that. You know, I mean, people lose everything they have. This guy's a current player making $26 million. Maybe he's got some debts out there from other gambling or something like that, but not a story of somebody that blew all their chances, you know, and stuff like that. Somehow you just get sucked into that, and before you know it, you're saying to yourself, what's the big deal? I'll just say my ankle hurts. I'll check out a 1 game early, and who knows the better. And boom, here you are. Think about it. Here he is 2.5 years later. He's getting arrested. He's making $26 million a year, all because he was a little bit greedy and didn't think things through. And actions have consequences, man. And hey, he's going to get his day in court, as he should. But boy, that's pretty big anecdotal evidence when you got anyway, for what it's worth, quite a story. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that they're making, and somehow they're fixing games for 13, 15, 20 grand just because they think they can. All right. Gold's continuing the run. We're up to 41.62 right now. The highs yesterday morning, early, before you cascaded lower, 41.75. So we're coming up to that area right now. Yeah, and it's the hope in the sports industry, folks, is that it's not more prevalent than maybe it might be. S&P's flat. We're coming back for the open, folks.
Investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets sneaking into the positive. S&P's up by 4, NASDAQ negative by 8, Dow negative by 20, but all the markets right now catching a bid on the Russell, positive by 8 right now. We jump around to the biggest stocks out there. NVIDIA shares up by 0.1%. Tesla on their numbers, down by almost 5%, off by $21 at $420 a share. There you go, Elon. Excuse me. We jump around to some of those quantum computing stocks. And I was joking in the den that somebody posted, was it Elo? The Commerce Department saying that they have no interest in acquiring those companies. Well, the last thing you want is some company that you want to acquire. Everybody knows you want to acquire it, right? Nonetheless, this is the journal story that was driving that action. The Trump administration in talks to take equity stakes in quantum computing firms. Several are in talks to give the Commerce Department equity stakes in exchange for funding. Companies are discussing minimum funding awards from Washington of $10 million each. Well, I just went over. I mean, these are $3.7 billion, $11 billion companies, okay? Shares of the companies in the space rose. But yeah, for $10 million, I don't think they're going to get a large stake for $10 million when the companies are 3.7, and so we'll see if that number comes out. But nonetheless, stocks are spiking. They're pulling back a bit. But boy, longer term, folks, they got to live up to all these expectations. IONQ, a 15 bagger from where we were about a year ago. Okay. Let's take a look at the volume on this one. Look how you give up the highs. You make that high on volume September 15th, and since then, you've really had quality volume to the downside. As we accelerate, you're up by 6.5% on that news. Smart people could have seen this one coming, folks. If the government's choosing winners and losers, okay, try and find the winners. Go find the winners that at least the government's going to choose the winners. It sounds political, but it's not. That's what's going on. Is this going to be the new norm? Every president comes in and says, I think these companies are going to be the winners. We're going to take American money and we're going to buy, basically, and have equity stakes. And then by having equity stakes, we're going to be able to tell them how to run their business. Quite a transformational change. Some of the others, QUBT. I mean, look at this thing, man. All right, look at this on a weekly chart, folks. Okay, we got selling in these equities right now. Be careful on these. Been a heck of a run. And trading, you better believe we got some volatility, but be careful on these ones. Yeah, they're in talks and they need funding, and they do need funding. We've just never demanded equity stakes for funding in any of these types of situations before, and that's now the game in town, and that's what's going. And they do need funding. It is a forefront technology. We saw Google yesterday. I mean, what did Google say? I mean, the rate of these quantum computers are able to process defies logic, for lack of a better term. It really does. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Talked about these. We're going to talk a little bit of rent. We're going to talk a little housing. Here we go. Single-family rent growth just hit the lowest level in 15 years. Now, here's where I'm going to give you a little bit of, here's my take on things, okay? It's, what do they call it? The K-shape economy, okay? And I'm not going to dive into that, but you better believe it has some merits, all right? What you have going on in here, rents for single-family residents rose just 1.4% in August, okay? Dallas saw a decline. Apartment rent prices nationally are down. You have massive multi-family dwellings getting built. We have an affordability crisis, okay? But what that's doing is that you see certain areas, okay, Chicago, rent growth 4.7%, LA, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Dallas was on the decline. High-end properties are faring the best, 1.6%. Low-end rent prices, 1.1%. Well off last year's gains, okay, but we're still talking about a 1.1 to 1.6% increase. Multifamily apartment rents have been cooling, okay? That's where the boom has been. Construction boom in the sector, record number of units in the past few years, apartment rent prices down almost 1% in September. Slightly less than the annual dip in August. Multifamily vacancy rates, actually a record high, 7.1%. They got so many multifamilies, folks, okay? It is not single families. Now, of course, that's going to impact the entire area, but I can tell you, okay, myself right now, between the properties I have in Tampa and St. Pete, strong single-family housing in nice neighborhoods is doing very well right now. Okay? Rates, let's see where we are right now. But on a rental basis, I mean, I'm going to raise the rents I have right now for the 2 tenants coming in the next time that they renew. And there's lag in that market, folks. There is. But guess what? There's not as much lag when you're talking about those smaller units where you have had that rapid expansion. Now, we get the 10-year right now at 3.98. Okay, on a daily basis, we're again challenging this area. 10-year seems pretty comfortable at 4% on the boundary on the lower end. And we come into a Fed meeting 6 days away, and we get CPI numbers tomorrow as well. Look at this market, man. Tesla, down by 5.4% for Tesla. NVIDIA in the red. Microsoft shares slightly in the green. Amazon up by 0.4% right now. Google up by 0.6%. Those are yesterday's numbers. For some reason, Thinkorswim doesn't update that right on the open. Shame on them. Yeah, Texas Instruments, they traded lower yesterday. You're clawing back some of those losses today. Let's jump a little retail. Walmart with a big day yesterday. A little bit of a safety haven. You're up by 0.2% right now. Target shares catching a little bit of a bid. Look at this. All right. Let's see what we got going on in Target. We got some selling there on October 10th, that's for sure. Volume at the lows. We make that low. You bounce on lighter volume. Yesterday was a nice day. Was that 2 days ago? Excuse me. Yeah, Tuesday. All right, we're going to need more volume to get above this area. And look how we're the low of this bar. All right, we're coming into this big bar of volume from their earnings about a couple months ago. Target's got some work to do, man. Look at this. Longer term. It's going back to the highs of 2021, man. Can't get above that. All right, TJX on the flip side of that. It's been bumping up against the upper boundary there. We check in on Mickey D's, our favorite 10-year channel. Continuing to trade higher from that bounce on the lower part of their channel. McDonald's up by 0.1% right now. S&P's up another 0.1%. Gold contract up by $87. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll come back. We'll take a look at some other equities. Be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's right now up by 11 points. Markets in the green right now. You jump to American Airlines. So American out with their numbers, you're up by 3.9%. You spike higher, and American profit forecast for the rest of the year, topping the estimates. They expect to earn 45 to 75 cents a share, quite a wide range in the fourth quarter, but 31 cents was the estimate. Full year guidance, 65 to 95 cents. Market was looking for 43. It's a big number. Fourth quarter capacity to grow between 3 to 5% over the same period from last year. And yeah, as they say, the loss per share, 17 versus 28 expected, and they beat on revenue as well. So strong numbers. You got American trading higher. They give back some of those gains, but up by about 4%. Delta down from the open. Delta flat right now. You jump over to United. They're trading lower, down by 0.6%. And JetBlue in a class of its own. And it's not a good class, folks. The one thing I did, a little bit of buying last week. Take a look at the daily. That volume, though, the selling of October 16th. It's a tough-looking chart, folks. You're looking to get in JetBlue. You know, maybe you got a floor out here of 425 with some support. That's where you were from June 26th to August 11th. You have this nice sign of strength. October 14th, but look what you did, right? You gave it up and traded lower with volume. Now, you haven't broken those lows. That's a daily. Take a look at the weekly. Get some nice selling, of course, from the April acceleration. Now, that one had to do with some of their earnings. So you can't get above it. The high of that bar, 479. We're trading at 464. JetBlue just continuing to struggle. All right, we talk about the government shutdown. Now, where are the pressure points on the horizon? Well, we'll see if any of them matter, but there are some pressure points, okay? You have October 24th. Tomorrow, federal employees, many of them are going to miss their first full paycheck. Okay, they received partial paychecks earlier, and now with the backdating, that would be a full paycheck that you're missing. I think a lot of us know, man, you miss 2, 3, 4 weeks of paychecks. Many people are not equipped for that, folks. Not even close. That's tomorrow, okay? October 28th, more missed paychecks. Air traffic controllers, I'm supposed to fly in a few weeks, who are working without pay, set to miss an entire paycheck on this date alongside their federal workers. There's been a push to make sure they can get paid. October 31st, so a week from tomorrow, military pay. They're going to miss their next paycheck. Now, they got one paycheck in there. I think it's about $8 billion per pay period. I was joking with friends. Quite a payroll, right? That's the cost of freedom. $8 billion every 2 weeks. That's your payroll. That's our payroll for troops, folks. And then November 1st, you have ACA subsidies, SNAP benefits. November 4th, state elections. Virginia, New Jersey. okay? The elections could serve as a test to how voters feel. So you're going to start to get elections, and then they're going to read into those elections, but you got some pressure points, man. You know, the military and air traffic controllers, that might be the one. We'll see. You come into that holiday season and travel's a mess, people are going to want the government to function. All right, we jump around to some other stories going on this morning. We have Tesla out with their numbers, and Rivian, they're going to lay off 600 workers amid an EV pullback. Another round of layoffs affecting about 4% of their workforce, 600 people. The company, just under 15,000 employees. Rivian shares, quite the decline from their IPO, where you reach $179. This is where there's nothing like experience, folks. Okay? You live through something like this. You live through them pushing out Rivian at a valuation of ungodly levels for basically a pre-revenue company that has a deal with Amazon. $15.6 billion company right now. Total shares outstanding, 1.2 billion. You traded to almost $180. That was a $200 billion company. Almost pre-revenue. Well, you come back to reality, and we've just been shopping around. They're laying off 600 employees. The EV market's been struggling. They got great vehicles. But yeah, you're a $10+ billion company. You got to live up to it now. Laying off 600 workers, down by 0.6%. And geez, you know, you're in this equity. You're looking to get in it. Yeah, it's a tough go around right now. You know, you want to give yourself a shot at $12 where you built a nice base of support here from August. Okay, but don't give yourself a lot of room. Got a nice simple floor between $12 and $10 on this equity. You break below that, you're going south. We check in on Tesla. Tesla down about $21 off 4.7% right now. GM shares. GM having a big week on their numbers and holding on, getting a pop today as well, up 1.7%. Stellantis down by about 0.3%. So Ferrari, check out Ferrari. Been under pressure, man. Yeah, this one's a tough one. The volume's not doing anything on this equity, man. You got a nice bounce going, but it could be a dead cat bounce. They scale back their EV ambition, scale back everything. You spike lower on that announcement a couple weeks ago. Take a look at the weekly on this thing. You don't see many bars like that, folks. A weekly bar takes out years. Yeah, if you're in this equity, pick a stop and honor it. Because that one. Now, no. Technically, okay, 400's a nice floor here. You got a nice bounce. Didn't quite do it with volume, but you had some decent volume last week. And technically speaking, you got a floor here. That's where we bounced in April. Okay, you got some buying last week. That's where you built the floor in 2024. And the beauty of trades like this, folks, is that you know you're wrong if you're wrong, right? You get in at a point that it's had prior resistance, okay, prior support. Yeah, you got this gap out here from 350. Don't give yourself a lot of room if you're getting into this one. We're right at a nice round number. Okay, you're getting in right where this thing based in 2020. This is a consolidation from February, all the way to almost July. That was 6 months, and then you tested that area in April, and you just broke it. All right, we're checking on the leaders. NVIDIA up by 0.4%. Meta, can't hold Meta down. Look at this equity. Up by more than a percentage point today. Google shares up by 1.2%. Microsoft up by 0.4% right now. We check in on those chip stocks. Ooh, no real bounce for CoreWeave. They were trading with some bearish action yesterday. Up by 0.3% right now. Oracle, been under pressure as well. Up by 1.3% right now for Oracle. Paramount Skydance down by 0.2%. Warner Brothers Discovery and streaming. Oh, the action's on. Up by another 2% right now. Pushing $21. They said they're turning down offers near $24. But guess what? Before anybody found out that they were interested In buying this company, it was only trading at $12. So you got some risk, man. $12 if no one's buying them. S&Ps, we're catching a bid, folks. One more segment. We'll come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We take a look at some of the home builders. KB Homes down about 0.4% today. Get this market skyrocketing right now. Yields a little bit on the rise, though. Okay, you jump over to yields. Let's see where we're trading at right now. We're probably inching towards 4%, right? Yeah, 3.99. Jump over to yields real quick. So we take a look at housing. A little bit of lower price, higher yield. 10-year off by 8 ticks right now. But as I've been saying, just chopping around just under 4% right now. You jump over to the dollar. 99.01. Gold continuing the run up by $100 right now. And yeah, we take a look at some of these home builders. So we kick it off. Let's go Lennar. You know, I'm watching these things and I think rates are going to be under pressure. Okay, they're going to try and run this economy hot, but the home builders aren't saying just yet, folks. We're down from almost 145 to 127 in Lennar, and you got selling. Okay, you got some buying out here from their prior earnings about a month ago, but that was some selling coming into that October low, and we've bounced on lighter volume. Okay, so be careful of that action, and it's everywhere on all these charts. DR Horton, same thing. Look at the volume spike on that sell. Okay, we bounced on lighter volume. KB Homes, You get the acceleration on volume, you bounce on lighter volume. Okay, we have some real selling in some of these equities here. You put it on a weekly, and I just don't think we're there just yet. Maybe you get one more test of this breakout from the earnings for KB from June. All right, we're within 1% of all-time highs yet again. Look at this run. Yesterday, you were at 66.90. We're more than 1% off the lows of yesterday intraday right now. S&P's up by 25. NASDAQ 100 up by 140. You still have a VIX that's somewhat elevated, folks. 1826. This market within a stone's throw of all-time highs, and the VIX just won't back down. Remember, we got CPI tomorrow, okay? And they need that CPI for cost of living adjustment for Social Security. That looks to be about a 2.8% number for cost of living adjustment for Social Security. We're going to get CPI data. Might be a little bit cloudy. It's late data. But nonetheless, we get the CPI out tomorrow. But next, folks, stay tuned. We got our man Basil Chapman coming up with the Tiger Technicians Hour, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for Basil. Have a great one, folks.